Hi, how's it going? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. If you are fascinated by true crime and also obscure cases and also wild cases, definitely hit the subscribe button, okay? If you are returning, welcome back, my true crime kitty cat. So happy you're here. Tonight's case is not for the faint of heart. It's brutal, but we're actually going to be doing a controversial case because people believe this woman is innocent. And yes, is she a hero? Is she a villain? I'm going to lay it out for you, okay? And I'm going to be talking about a woman who I just can't even believe is real. Like, the psychopathy of this woman just blows my mind, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to go to my title page to show my fur babies to bring in the good vibes because in this podcast, we talk about horrific things, but I'm sending positive energy to you.
Just wanna go back to the way we never were. Just wanna go back to the way we...
All right, well, this is Tea Time True Crime with Catie, and I am Catie Brannon, so welcome. So, before we get started, I want to talk about a live I had on leap year of 2024. Now, I did not mail anything yet, and I'm aware, you guys, it is like June, but I haven't heard from the winners. So I want to know down the comments below, do I just do another giveaway? Because I did Instagram them, I did try to find them on socials, and I haven't returned anything back. So I'm going to show the names who won, and hopefully we hear from them. So what the name I have is Genevieve Ward, Lee McMary, Angel Figueroa, and Andrew Scott. And I also will have them listed right here. You guys are the winners, but I haven't heard anything from you at all. But a shout out to Wolfman, to Darian, to Doug Burton, to Catie Burton, to Lee Cara, and Sarah Beth. I just want to say thank you so much for coming and interacting with me on my live on February 29th. It really meant a great deal to me. So I do want to send you guys something. So go on my Instagram at Catie Brannon. Message me. If you're comfortable, message me your address and I will send you your goodies. Okay? All right, great. Thank you. I also like to talk about small businesses or personal businesses that I know, and I like to really help people. I don't get paid for advertisement, not yet, but I still like to spread joy and good vibes to these people. I recently went to the it was like street food festival. Really fun, you guys. I recommend saving money and just going to a food festival, perhaps VIP, because you're one of the first to be there. And they had different kind of vendors there. And I met Christy Joyner, okay? She is in Virginia Beach. She is from Honey's Creative, I believe is her company. And she did tumblers and keychains, pens, all kinds of good stuff. I'm going to link her Instagram right here. And if you want to place an order, definitely send her a DM and tell her, Catie sent you. You don't have to do that. It's fine. But definitely check it out. What I love, is this tumbler, and it says, talk to me about true crime and tell me I'm pretty. And it has these really cool icons of guns, hearts, arrows, and it's pink. And I'm usually not a very pink person, believe it or not, but I am very feminine, if that makes sense. So I love it. It's really nice. It comes with like a metal straw or plastic, whatever you prefer. And she just gives good vibes. So definitely check her out. Thank you so much for making a really cool product. And she also makes tumblers out of, how can I say this? Hookah. Let's just say hookah. And the other thing you smoke as well. She actually makes a tumbler, you guys. And also it can interchange into a BONG. Yes. Yep. I got my partner one, and he loved it. He couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, babe, It's something to take your medicine, okay? And also, if you don't want it, you can clean it out and have a water bottle. So it's a twofer. So plus, I thought this was going to be like 50 bucks. I'll be real with you. It was like 25 bucks. I'm like, what? I mean, this doesn't turn into a hookah, because that's just not my jam. No worries. But I drink a lot of water and tea, so I am really excited to use this. Look how cute that is. And this doesn't do it justice. When you go outside, the whole thing is glittery. I don't know if you can see it glittering. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I can see it from where I'm looking at it. Yeah, so definitely check her out, you guys. I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right, you guys. So this story is going to sound so insane. Please remember, these are real people. So I'm going to say right now, I don't mean any disrespect, and everything that I'm talking about, you can look it up. It's found in other places. I just took the time to research, to put everything together. There's a lot, you guys. There is a lot I need to unpack. But I'm not going to unpack everything. I'm just going to do it the Catie way. If you like it, appreciate it. If you don't, I appreciate you checking me out. You know what I'm saying? The podcast, by the way. Okay. All right, guys. The vibe is strong here. It is aggressive, and I'm feeling myself today. So let's get on with the story. Okay. So, Tracy Richter. She was born May 15th, 1966. And yes, you guys, that makes her a Taurus. Now, not only she is beautiful, but she was extremely manipulative. She is one of those women that could just show her goods and just turns men's heads around and does her betting. I feel like she is, I mean, I don't know if you watched the new Chucky series on Sci-Fi. I highly recommend it. It's a bloody good time, which I never thought I would say, but it's just like a horror comedy. It doesn't take itself seriously, but she's giving like Jennifer Tilly vibes if she had those voodoo dolls. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's just a show, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Jennifer Tilly is in prison in the series, and she has these voodoo dolls, and she makes the prison guards and the authorities do whatever she likes, okay? And I swear, Tracy must have some kind of voodoo magic, okay? Because I don't think looks alone could let her get away with all she has done, okay? I'm keeping it real. Keeping it real. So Tracy actually was born in Chicago, and she was very smart. I know people like to dumb her down, but she is smart, okay? She actually got a full scholarship in college for radiography. It's like to become a radiologist. That's a new one. All right. Radiologist. Okay. Now, that is where she met John Pittman. Dr. John Pittman. But during this time, he is not quite a doctor yet. He is actually in school to become a plastic surgeon. Okay? They meet in 1987. Now, he says that he was like swept up by Tracy. She was like this whirlwind. She just did all his desires, and it seems like, I mean, I was reading you guys in the comments and I was just falling to the floor. One guy was like, I think she might like anal. That's probably how, and I was thinking, whoa, dude, whoa. Yeah, sorry to put your guy's head there, but just want to tell you exactly what kind of person we're working with, okay? So John is in college, and he is head over heels for Tracy, okay? Definitely head over heels. Now, so she seems to love everything that he loves. Nothing wrong with that. It's called things in common, but she took it to a whole different level, and he thought he hit pay dirt in a woman. So they got married, actually, in 1988. Yes. Now, the timelines here are a little wishy-washy because, like I said, I've been studying this case. These cases, actually. Because this is a whole bunch of cases in one, guys. Yeah. even though I really want to talk about Dustin, I was like, I'm trying to like set the events for you because like there's people out there, actually on Facebook, by the way, that made a group that thinks she is innocent. I know, I'm jumping too much. If it's your first time here, guys, I talk in riddles. Enjoy, have a good time. Also, have a snack, have a drink, clear your mind, and listen to me when it's convenient. You know, I mean, I'm here for you to give true crime in a positive kind of way. Because there is a lot of people out there that cannot take true crime. It really, really upsets them. So I try really hard to send Reiki over the podcast so you feel some kind of decent after listening. All right. Whew. So she marries this doctor who turns out to be becoming a plastic surgeon. Now, while he is married, this is why the timelines are wonky. But when Tracy and John are together, Tracy didn't realize that she actually hit pay dirt. Yes, John Pittman's family is actually very wealthy. Yes, very big homes, luxuries, and seem to be really nice folks. Well, all of a sudden, their money starts disappearing from their bank accounts. And they actually accuse Tracy of stealing from them. Now, John, the husband, the guy she has wrapped around her finger, no, he is not on his family's side, okay? I know, it's awful. He's just trying to do the right thing. He feels like he married the love of his life. And that, no. So, what that happens when she is accused and John is like, no way in hell, that's my wife, pretty much. They move away. Yeah. She puts like some kind of wedge between him and his family. Yeah. Starts to isolate him a little bit. Well, Dr. John Pittman is a plastic surgeon, so he's working, I don't know, I heard like 120 hours a week. Yeah, that's a lot. But remember, he's a plastic surgeon. You know, he's apparently a really good one. So he's always missing. So Tracy, poor Tracy, in a big, beautiful house with nothing to do. And she decides to go sway from the marriage. Yeah. She decides to sway from the marriage. Not nice. I know. Yeah. So all of a sudden, you know, when they're moving, he has these animals. You know, he is a big animal lover, guys. Cats, dogs. And then when he comes home, because they just moved, right? He comes home and he's looking for his babies, his fur babies. And, you know, there are two different stories that I've read. The first one is that when he went to go see his animals, his cats and dogs, she basically said it was very hard for her to move the animals to their new home. It's very difficult. So what she did, allegedly, okay, is get the animals and send them to a laboratory to get tested. Yes, guys, not to make sure they're okay, but to literally sell them for testing to a laboratory. That was one story I read. The second one, which I feel like this is more plausible, but again, I don't have the paperwork. I'm just telling you what I researched. The second is that she said, I don't know what happened. They all ran away. They all ran away. And Dr. Pittman is so sad at this point because if you guys are animal lovers out there, and if you just are an empath and just love creatures, that would be absolutely devastating to you. I know I would be absolutely devastated, and that marriage would be done. I would have been like, I'm out, you a psycho. But, you know, she is very, very persuasive and manipulative. And she is just like, oh, oops, they ran away. Oh, no. Yeah. It was until a few weeks later, he got a call from one of his neighbors and said they saw one of his cats wandering around the neighborhood. That's weeks later. So I'm guessing she grabbed all the animals, drove somewhere, and dropped them off and made them like go away. But the cat was trying to find its way home. I'm not sure if it did or not, but the call did come from the neighbor. I know it's not looking like a good time, guys. This is just a little thing that I'm going to talk about. Just a tiny bit. So already, guys, there's stories about what happened to these animals, and it's awful. So that is like red flag number 1. But as you know, or if you don't know, we do not like V word, okay? Victim blame on this channel. We don't. Because Dr. Pittman was extremely intelligent, very loving, seemed like a very sweet doctor who really wanted to make the marriage work. And he did. He really tried. Until things are starting to get a little, like, wonky. Okay? So, now the timelines for me doesn't make sense, because I've heard different ways, but I'll just throw it out there. So even though we don't know the exact timing, we know that these events happened, okay? Just being honest. First event, they were having some kind of a fight because he realizes that she has cheated on him, that she has swayed from the marriage. Now, she does it like she kind of brings it back to him. And then one day when he comes in, she has a gun. Yeah, a firearm. And he is petrified, but she is saying that she was going to kill herself. Yeah, one of those psychos. I know. Said like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. I'm not happy. You know, I'm going to end my life. And she was going to kill herself. So he's just like, what? Yeah. Now, when the cheating and everything happened, this is what I'm not like understanding, because I'm thinking if the cheating happened and he's trying to work on the marriage in I believe it was, 1990, Bert was born. They had a child, a son. Now, I mean, I call that a Band-Aid baby personally, because, you know, she's trying to fix the marriage with a baby. And, because it's not going so well. So, but, you know, John is over the moon. He loves his son, Bert. He would do anything for his son. So when she starts acting cuckoo bananas and threatening and stuff like that, you know, John is just like, all right, you need mental help. And she did. She received like, I don't know, I saw a few months in this psychiatry, but then I saw up to 6 months off and on. And she was doing very well. When she left, she was starting to do better. And, you know, then the cracks started to show again. Now, Dr. Pittman was wondering what is going on. Is she cheating on me again? So he decides to hire a PI, a private investigator, Now, the private investigator, you know, he found out a whole lot. Yes. In fact, I feel like this private investigator maybe have saved Dr. Pittman's life. Yeah. Yep. The investigator contacted Dr. Pittman and showed him photos and descriptions. Now, she really liked guys. She loved being touched. She loved the, attention and the affection. Now, you would think that she would have secret lovers that she would visit over and over again. No, she had multiple affairs, apparently, allegedly. But one thing it did say is that, the investigator caught her on a beach. And these young men were, like, feeling her breasts, her thighs, her butt, giving her complete, like, attention. It was just, like, insane. Now, John is hurt, but the PI drops a bombshell. He goes, she also has an insurance policy on you. And John is like, he's like, okay. And he goes, well, now it's updated. And John is a little weary, and he starts to, like, kind of really want to drift away from Tracy a little bit. She's doing her own thing, but he loves Bert. So he's like, okay, I'm going to stay in this marriage and, because of Bert, okay? Because of my son. I love my son. I want to make this marriage work, okay? Until one day he gets a call from Tracy. And it's like, I'm doing like a reenactment, you guys. And it's doing something like this. John, hey, I need you to come home right now. I need you to come right now. And then Dr. John's like, oh my God, is something wrong? Like something wrong with, Bert? What's going on? And she wouldn't answer. So he decides to actually go home. But before he went home, he said he had this sickening feeling in his stomach, like the pit of his stomach. So he actually decides to call the PI. He goes, I need you to tell me, where is Tracy right now? Now, the PI tells him what's up. She calls again. Hello, I'm at the house. Where are you? Where are you, John? And John is just like, okay. And the PI is telling John, oh my God, do not go to the house. Okay? She is on the other side of town right now. And then John, that was it. It freaked him out so much, you guys. Divorce. Big fat D word. Divorce. Yep. And to this day, we don't even know why she wanted him to go to the house. Let me know down in the comments below if you think why. Again, allegedly. Now, in the beginning, when I said these are real people, this is real. This is not a made-up story. This is real people. And with that said, when I said you can look at the information online, you can. Don't get me wrong. But I'm actually terrified of the Richter family because of the damage what has been done by this family. So please do not come after me. There are other podcasters talking about your case and also other news people and media. So please do not come after my loved ones. Just saying. Okay? I'm not the one who wrote it and I'm not the one who did this. So do not kill the messenger. Just wanted to say that. Okay, great. Awesome. So as I said, John is divorcing Tracy and she is devastated. She is angry and he wants his son. Okay, it's a horrible custody battle. Awful. So awful that she is telling the courts that Dr. John is molesting his 8-year-old son, Bert. Yeah, she's that bitch. Yes. I don't use the B word lightly with this one. Like, I cannot. Maybe I studied too much because I'm just like, my mind is blown that someone could treat another human being this way. Okay. So yes, it's a horrible custody and it's like very bad. And so she has her son, Bert, but she's lonely, guys. She's lonely. And I don't know how she met the next boyfriend, but I believe his name is Lapisa. Yes. Lapisa, dude. Oh, man. This dentist. He was a dentist, okay? I don't know if he's doing that now because she, ruined his life. No, ruined his life. I'm jumping ahead. I know. Sorry. Just getting all flabbergasted for a second. Lapisa was, of course, some kind of a doctor. He was a dentist. They started dating. She became a girlfriend of his. Well, out of nowhere, she decides to put a lawsuit to him, $150,000 lawsuit, and said that he sexually assaulted her while conducting dentistry. I'm sorry, what? What? Yes. I don't know if she watched the Lifetime movie of where this poor woman really did have it done. And it was, yeah. I might need to do that podcast. That was unbelievable. That doctor took forever to get. He put fake blood in his arm to hide his DNA because he really did it. Anyway, she may have watched that and had an idea, if, maybe I can get money out of him. Now, she said, there's two things written down. The first thing is that she woke up from getting dental work done and he was on top of her, like, jerking it, okay? Second thing she said was that she woke up and, these are the stories I read, but I'm not sure exactly because, like, everything is, like, sealed. Yeah. But I'm telling you what I researched. So that was the first instance. The second instance is that she woke up and he was on top of her doing inappropriate things. And now if you're thinking, wow, okay, well, what was her evidence? Well, what was the proof? Nothing. She did not have anything to stand on, and the lawsuit was over. Like, spoiler alert, it didn't work out. Sadly, though, Dr. Lapisa, the dentist, pretty much lost everything. Because to accuse someone of that horrific action, people thought he was sketchy, and they stopped going to his practice. I'm not sure what he's doing nowadays, but a while ago, he could not really practice anymore. I'm praying that he packed up, changed his name, and moved to a different city to start a new life. I know, she's awful, like awful. But as that stupid lawsuit is, because lawsuits take forever, as that is happening, she is busy. Yes, Tracy is online. Yes, she is online. Yeah, no, I keep messing with my nose. Cat hair. I'm like horribly allergic to cats, but I don't care. I love them, so I just deal with the pain. Okay, we good? Awesome. I take allergy medicine, so it's fine. It's fine. But then there's always like hair, just like, yeah. All right. Okay. Tracy was busy though. Okay. So while the custody battle with her husband, with Dr. Pittman, is going on, and she is suing her boyfriend, she starts going online and meets this really nice Australian businessman. Yes. No kids. Non-smoker. She hit the big time, she thought, okay? Now, he fell, okay, now he's really embarrassed to say, but, because he's been interviewed, and I am going to link the interviews in the description below, because I'm going to link the Ben Smith interview. He was the prosecutor for the case, and I'm going to link Micheal Roberts, and they're both like an hour long, but holy mess, you can see the brokenness in Micheal Roberts. Like, my soul was just like hurting so bad. Okay, so anyway, I'll link the descriptions below if you want to watch those interviews. So Micheal Roberts is this businessman from Australia, all right? And he sees Tracy, and he is head over heels, okay? She goes to Australia. They are just having this love fest, and he says it was purely physical, and he was very embarrassed to admit that. I mean, yeah, I could see the physical sense. Yes, I can definitely see how she caught an Australian businessman. Now, they were so head over heels, like she like whipped him up in her Tracy tornado, and they got married after 18 days. Yes, guys, 1-8. That's like over 2 weeks. Again, I'm not judging love. I've known really cool couples that got married and everything. But this woman, no. She saw, I believe, that he had money. She is trying to fight custody for her child. And God knows what she said to Micheal Roberts, okay? God knows what she did to manipulate him. So he goes to America, and they were just supposed to actually eventually go back to Australia and live there happily ever after, right? So they're together, and all of a sudden, she is being Tracy again, you guys. She is back to her cheating tricks. Getting felt up, getting touched by random people. Hey man, I'm not knocking it. I'm not. But, you need to have communication with your partner if that is going on. You know what I'm saying? But she had, like, no communication. So this businessman is feeling awful, and he's blaming himself and saying, well, I will do whatever I can, to fix this marriage. Yeah, already. So they have 2 children, a boy and a girl. And they are beautiful children. So one child, the boy came first, and I believe it was a year later, another child. Okay. So that was, 90s. Now we're getting into 2000s, okay? 2001, December 13th. Holy mess. This destroyed early Iowa. No, I'm serious, guys. This case, if you ever hear of early Iowa, everyone will be like, Tracy Richter. Awful case. Yeah, I don't mean to give her any notoriety at all because she is just awful. I really want to talk about Dustin. We're going to talk about Dustin Weed. Now, Dustin Weed was only 20 years old when his life was brutally taken away. Brutally. Like executed. Okay? Dustin Weed had two sisters, a mom and a dad. And they were extremely close family. The mother, Mona, really loved her son, Dustin. And the sisters did as well. So like I said, very close-knit family. In fact, Mona was neighbors to the Richters. Now, this time, guys, it's not the Richters. Remember, she married the Australian businessman. So she is Roberts right now. So Tracy Roberts, Micheal Roberts. So they have 3 kids in the home. Now, the oldest son, Bert, it just going back and forth custody, back and forth. And just, Tracy is manipulating the total crap out of Bert to hating his father. Yeah, she's one of those horrible women. Absolutely. So, December 13, 2001, something horrific happened. This is her story. This story was so well known that she even was on Montel Williams because she was known as a hero. A suburban mom who actually came in and saved her 3 children from a horrible intruder. Yeah, see? She could not even keep her lies straight. I know. You're not ready, guys, because I definitely was not. This is her story. Tracy had 3 of the children that night. One of the children, the youngest, I believe Mason, she was the girl, and she was getting a bath. Now, Tracy was just, being a mom, giving her daughter a bath. Micheal was out of town on business. Now, she all of a sudden hears bang, bang, bang on the stairs. Now, that bang, bang, bang wasn't from a firearm. It's basically like when someone runs up the stairs. Okay? Now, she is terrified. And she's like, oh my gosh, who's in my home? So, all 3 kids she puts in one room and tells them to lock the door, don't say anything. And she gets out of the room apparently, and an intruder grabs her, you guys, grabs her by the ponytail and drags her, and then gets a pantyhose and starts putting it around her neck. Now, she is fighting, but yet all of a sudden she is unconscious. Yeah, she's unconscious. Unconscious, thank you. And she is just gone. And all of a sudden, she's really, really scared. And she comes back too. Oh my gosh, she comes back too. But she realizes, I don't have my glasses anymore, but I'm going to go to the gun safe. So she goes upstairs. Yeah, I know. Upstairs where there's a gun safe and there's 2 firearms. And the safe is so small, okay, that you only can get one hand and get 1 gun out each. Okay? But she's saying, oh my God, the intruders, they're coming after me and I'm just trying to get away. And she got the keypad, the word wrong, the code wrong. But again, she doesn't have her glasses. She doesn't know. But man, these intruders, man, they got her, She's they're grabbing at her and she doesn't know what to do. She's so scared. And there are 2 intruders, but then one instant she says, oh my God, there's 3 intruders. Yeah. She grabs a gun, she turns around, and she just starts opening fire. Bang, bang, I'm just gonna, 11 shots. And you're wondering, well, Catie, I don't know a lot about guns, and it's fine, me neither. But how is there 11 shots in the barrel? Good question. There is not. She actually takes both firearms and unloads on this intruder. This intruder, you guys, was actually 20-year-old Dustin Wheaty. The 20-year-old that I mentioned earlier, he was known to be an outcast. Hey, what's up? I think people who watching this channel are too. Proud of it. But Dustin was very quiet and shy and just really wanted to make friends and seemed like a decent guy. He loved computers. He had a horrible time in school, bullied really, really bad. And actually, Mona, the mother, went to her neighbor thinking we're all good because Dustin would go over and help with mowing the lawn. I'm sure helped out with groceries, like neighbors, okay? Like, when I mentioned early Iowa was extremely very, very, like, small town. I think at that time was less than 1,000 people. So it was the kind of town where everybody knew everybody. And Micheal Roberts wanted to get her out of, I think at the time they were in Colorado or something. So when she, was married to Micheal and wanted her to have a fresh start, I'm not sure when the timeline was, but they did end up in early Iowa. Because I'm thinking he's like, well, there's not many people here that she can just go and screw and all that. So I'm going to take her to the smallest town where everybody knows everybody, but still she could not stay out of trouble. This poor guy, Dustin. Oh my gosh. She unloaded on him. It was an execution. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Now, after that happened, the police came and they're just wondering what's going on, and they see a huge pantyhose mark around Tracy's neck, and she's just like saying this horrible story, and she is commended completely. Like, they're like, oh my God, you're a hero. You saved your children. Oh my God. And, she was like this big, huge deal. Like I said, Montel Williams was really huge back in the day. I loved me some Montel Williams, let me tell you. And, yeah, my voice is cracking. It's tea time. Let's do some tea. That is not tea. I made coffee and I forgot I did that. Woo, I wasn't ready for that, guys. Was not ready. The coffee I just took a sip of and burned my mouth because I have this awesome warmer right here. Is Jot. J-O-T. I'm obsessed with this company. I love it. It's concentrated coffee. You put your milk or your I do almond creamer or oat creamer, and I love it. And I just do a little bit of water, and it's so good. And you can make it like cold coffee, which I should have done, but it's okay. So this shooting happened, and police were very weary about it because it just didn't kind of make sense. Usually when someone robs someone's home or, something like that, they go and have weapons themselves. Horribly. I'm sorry. They do. They would have like crowbars, baseball bats, guns, something to make someone give up what they're supposed to. Now, Tracy was like, if he wasn't there to rob, I think he was a hitman. He's trying to kill me. My ex-husband probably hired a hitman to kill me. Now, what she did not know at the time was that there was a pink notebook that was found in Dustin's vehicle in Dustin's handwriting, talking about basically being a hitman. Yeah. He didn't actually say he was like a hitman, but something like he was there because of Michael Pittman, and it was in his handwriting. So it seemed like everything was making sense, You found the notebook in Dustin's vehicle, and, you had a mother who had 3 children. She was home alone, and she said she wasn't scared in the beginning because, her husband was supposed to be home, but then weirdly 3 hours early when he's supposed to. Yeah. And, no one really questioned her. Honestly. Yeah. Like, no one even questioned her, which, like, blows my mind. Because what I'm seeing, folks, is that, okay, it may have been a hitman. Okay. But the first thing that you should do when you shoot somebody and, they're on the ground, okay, and they're not moving, you don't shoot them 3 times in the back of the head. Yeah, she shot this kid 9 times, guys. It was like an execution. Like, he was not getting back up. She did not want him to get back up. So, you're thinking, God forbid, I don't wish this on anybody, but if you're ever in like some kind of an attack and you don't want to hurt, kill someone, but you want to defend yourself, you want to shoot maybe the leg or something like that, not the main vital areas. And then you call 911 automatically. You do not take things into your own hands and just gun down somebody in like cold blood. I mean, I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of shit for this. I know I am. I know. Yeah. But you guys, people didn't agree with me or a lot of other people. So they kind of just they closed the case. They actually said it was a self-defense case. And that destroyed the Weedy family. I mean, absolutely I can't even tell you. I'll try to even describe. When Dustin was executed, I shall say, and he was portrayed as this horrible guy who was invading the home and that he may have wanted to assault Tracy, just smearing his name all over the ground. His own father, not almost a year later, horribly, guys, the holiday of Thanksgiving. This is something I read, and if you don't know the outcome did happen. Now, how it happened, that is in debate. But I did read that the father did not cope well with his son's passing at all. Like, at all. Even though he had 2 beautiful daughters and a loving wife, he couldn't stop grieving. He cried every night to himself to sleep. And then on Thanksgiving, he was holding his son's grave and took his own life. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awful. Pretty awful. One of the stories I read that, he was holding, clutching his son's grave, had a gun and shot right through his heart. And left a note and basically said that he was heartbroken without his son. Yeah, I'm sure Tracy didn't see that coming. A year later after that, the family was absolutely devastated. And not only they're devastated about Dustin, but now they lost the dad. Now they lost the, patriarch of the family. So the family is like, we need to get Tracy. I know we couldn't get her in court. They smeared my son's name to the ground. So we're going to do an unlawful death lawsuit. And they tried, but the lawsuit was dropped. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. It was dropped. Horribly. Now, Tracy seemed to get away, with everything. And everything was hunky-dory in her life. 2 years later, though, Micheal Roberts couldn't take her butt anymore. Could not. She would absolutely start fights. She would kick holes in walls. She would just, go berserk. And he was scared for his life. Yes. And this is the kind of case where the male was actually calling authorities for help because he was scared for his life, but yet he ended up in handcuffs. More than once. Yeah. And he wanted to do anything for his kids. He loved his children. Absolutely. But until one day, he said that she came up to him and was like, would you do a trust exercise with me? Now, when you hear about a trust exercise, you automatically think it's the people who are standing up and there's one person in front that is going to just like, fall down backwards, and you have to trust the person that they're going to like not let you fall, and they help you keep balance. He was thinking that. No. No. Tracy had other plans. We don't know how she did what she did, but she ended up drugging Micheal Roberts. Drugging. It could have been a drink, it could have been in food, and he said he was flipping out. Like he was like seeing fairies and seeing all kinds of things. And before he knows it, she gets him in bed. I don't know if it's a seduce thing or go night-night, who knows. But she wraps him up in the king-size sheets like in a cocoon, tightly. And she is sitting on top of him, and not in a sexy way, and puts a plastic bag over his head and tells him to breathe in. And when he starts to actually pass out because of lack of oxygen, she explains, well, as she takes the bag off, well, this was, the trust exercise, and, I could have killed you, but I didn't, because you trust me, or some psycho bullcrap. Yeah. And let me tell you guys, Micheal Roberts, holy moly, the precious body, the manipulative behavior, the whatever magic she had under him was broken, you guys. The spell was broken. She literally tried to kill him. He went to the authorities, and guess what? No justice. Yeah. They basically said it was too weird or too wild for anyone to believe at all. So they did not prosecute her. I'm sorry, what? Like, I don't care if you're a male, a female, binary, non-binary. Forgive me if I'm forgetting a type of to talk. I don't know. I don't know in this day and age, guys. I'm a millennial, so I say boy, girl, But anyway, I don't care who you are, you magical being. No one has any right to try to murder you, or no one has any right to touch you without you having, without you consenting. I don't care who you are. So, yeah, he was done. He was done. He was divorcing Tracy. That was it. And let me tell you, Tracy made his life a living hell. Hell. Okay? She would not let him go. He did whatever he could to get out of the marriage and to have custody of their children, and she just would not let him go at all. Yeah. It is, it's pretty wild because, that really could have been the perfect crime to suffocate someone like that. I know it's messed up to say, but the only thing he would have had was literally bloodshot eyes. Like, if he would have did drugs or did something and then, had a heart attack, I mean, who knows what she would have said. But she could have gotten away with it. I mean, she's been getting away with all this so far. Yes, I'm talking about domestic violence against these men. And she just, I don't know, man. She just had the justice system wrapped around her finger. Now, it could be, though, that she had connections. But she did have a brother that was a police officer in Chicago, and this happened in Indiana, so I don't know if the connection would go that far. Who knows? But her family made Micheal Robertson live in hell. Living hell. They actually had to move several times. Because the family would find them. And they did some kind of smudge campaign on Micheal. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how it all started back. But almost a decade later, the case is They said it was never closed. It was always just like had a huge question mark on it, you know? Like I told you, like a villain, you know? Like, what is this? And you had a prosecutor, an attorney named Benjamin Smith, and then another guy, I think his name is Trent, because he mentions it in the interview, because he... Yeah, sorry, my camera just like turned off for a second. Yeah, he mentioned in the interview, okay? And because this attorney really was humble and he did not want to take all the credit. In fact, you know, the family of Micheal Roberts and people that were advocating against Tracy because of her diabolical schemes, they called them the White Knight. Yes. Now, they opened this back up. I'm not sure why. I think, you know, there was a new attorney and he was just going over cases that I guess had question marks or cold cases, and he stumbled upon this one. Now, this is the type of case where people did not 100% agree that Dustin was this horrible and, you know, this burglar or this hitman, this home invasion nonsense. But weirdly, there was nothing they could do. They couldn't find more evidence. I know, I'm sorry, but that's what it seems like, you guys. And it seems like Tracy was really loved in the community, and you know, she had some hookups or something in the law. I don't know. But this high power attorney did not give two craps, because he went through the paperwork, you guys, and he saw a lot of inconsistencies. Main one is that all the fingerprints, there was not another intruder. She said in some instances there may have been 3 people there, 2 people there, but the police only saw Dustin's fingerprints. Then, when she unloaded a gun into him, she shot 11 times. 11 times! But then got him 9 times, including 3 times in the back of his head. Now, that did not seem like self-defense at all. It seemed like an execution. Then, they look at the pink notebook. And they were like, why did he write that? This literally is his handwriting. I mean, they had, you know, professional handwriting analysis people, and they said, yes, Dustin did write in the notebook. So the police are like, why? What? So things were just like not making sense, you know? There was a 911 phone call from her young son at the time, Bert, saying, you know, help me, somebody came in the house and all this. Like, I don't know, she just manipulated Bert so bad. Like I said, guys, Facebook, you know, oh my goodness. Like, he truly loves his mom. Like, the support is real. He does not want to see his mom like that kind of a person. I mean, I get it. You know, someone who you really love and care about, you don't want to see them as a psychotic, like, Black Widow, okay? Like, you just don't. But, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, bud. Like, do your research yourself. But again, you know, nobody ever wants to imagine their mother to be this kind of way. So I'm not going to knock on Bert too much. Okay, so the police were thinking there's a lot of inconsistencies. So they start going around. This is like 10 years later after the crime. And like I said, Tracy is like, you know, doing the whole custody thing with Micheal, and it's just like hell. And, you know, the whole custody thing with John, just hell. Okay. So she basically, and the poor dentist, man, that poor guy. So what happens is Mary's best friend is Tracy. Yes. Mary gets interviewed by the police, or she is brought over. I'm not sure how this happens, but what she slips out is when they're mentioning the crime, she goes, oh, you're talking about that stupid pink notebook? The police are like, wait a minute. No one knows about that notebook. How do you know about this notebook? And she basically was like, I mean, Tracy told me. And they're like, oh, so they're thinking if Tracy knows about this notebook, then she was the one that planted it there. Ding, 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 ding. It's looking like it. It is looking like it, Watson. Absolutely. She planned it. And you're wondering, well, is it because of the custody battle, Caitlin, between the, because of the mom and dad? And I don't think so. I think the kids were leverage. And she hated her first husband so bad that she was willing to kill this young boy. 20 years old is young, okay? 20-year-old boy in order to frame her ex-husband, to destroy him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. So Tracy gets a whiff that they are opening the case, that they are going over the evidence again. So you know what she does, guys? She blames it on her second husband, Micheal Robertson. What? I'm sorry, what? Yeah. And during this time, Micheal meets somebody, and yeah, I'm not sure about the timeline, guys, but I don't know, but he apparently does remarry, and Tracy finds out the name and starts changing her name to his new wife's name. What? And she develops a British accent. Yeah. This is all before she is arrested. She is acting like a completely different person. This woman is like, I don't know. I can't say delusional. George was saying that she was like one of the best con artists he's ever seen. I'm like, yeah, I guess give her the credit where the credit is due, even though she doesn't deserve squat. But she is. She is literally a con artist. But we got her 10 years later. And it's because of the pink notebook. Now, we do not know why poor Dustin wrote in that notebook. There are two things that investigators think why. Number one, seduction. She got her little tatas and her tiny body and her pretty face and tried to seduce him, okay? Second thing is that she had a gun to the back of his head and told him to write. Now, I have seen that Dustin may have had special needs. I also saw that he may have been on the spectrum, even though you guys know how I feel about that. I feel like we all are on the spectrum in some kind of way. I really do. We all have quirks. We all have things that are not normal. No one is perfect, okay? So with that being said, I feel like we are all on the spectrum in some kind of way. All right, don't come at me, but that's my personal opinion. I'm just a girl in a little box, so take it as you will. Mona was absolutely just so happy that her son's name was being cleared, because the way the evidence looked like is after she was shooting at him, they said 10 minutes later she shot him 3 times in the back of the head, and not with one gun, 2 guns. So how the heck was she guns blazing? Perfect mark. Like really good marksmanship with the gun without any glasses. Can you tell me that? She's apparently blind as a bat, gotta have her glasses. How the hell did she not have her glasses? And she didn't have a broken nose. She wasn't beaten. I mean, usually horribly guys, when assailants come in, they get the job done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the job done meaning, that sounds so harsh, I'm sorry. Meaning that they would either have weapons with them. She would have been way beat up more if this really was a hit. And the fact that, Dr. Pittman had no idea who Dustin was at all. And it was just really, really sad. Really, really sad. But Dustin's name did get cleared. And I'm really, really happy about that. I cannot believe that there is a person that is created like this. When she was arrested, she had, you'll watch the interview and see it, but she had 2 books that are I don't know, when you have these 2 books, like the Anarchist Cookbook, which I've heard about that in high school. Is it that old, guys? Let me know down in the comments below, because I remember hearing about that book. Maybe because one of my exes was a psycho. Yeah. All right. Going off script here. So, those are my notes, and it's awful. I pray that the families involved in this whole debacle with this creature has some kind of healing. You know, I'm sending love and light, and you know, and Bert, I mean, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say that you're a brainwashed son, but I mean, you gotta look at the proof yourself, man. I don't know. My heart hurt when I said that. I don't mean any disrespect to anybody. But the fact is that she got away with this for so long. Yeah. I don't even know. It's like one of those, this is a case that will be with me for a long time. I've actually heard about this case several years ago. My mom told me, and I was shocked. And then I did a TikTok version of one. It was like a minute long on this case 2 years ago. So, and then when I was doing my research, American Monster was on, and it is, I wrote it down for you guys, because yes, season 6, episode 3. Yeah, season 6, episode 3 is the story of Dustin. Because I really don't want to give whatever, the man-eater, crazy woman. Man, you wonder why, like, guys don't go in relationships. You wonder why they don't get married. You know, they have trust issues. Like, she just gives, you know, people bad names. I'm not saying don't date people online, but just, like, be wary, please. Take care of yourself, and always tell people where you are. Let them know. First of all, please meet in a public place. Seriously, like Starbucks, Panera, if you have that in your city, some coffee shop. Like, meet in person first, like several times. And then when you get to know each other, then you feel like everything's okay, maybe. But always keep your location on Snapchat. That is my advice, always. But Micheal Roberts, he actually had to pay child support while Tracy was in jail. Yeah, let me tell you that again. She got full custody of her kids, even though she was in jail. Because, yes, the court systems mostly agree with the mother, but she was in jail. I just don't understand that. But finally, 2011, she was convicted. Yes, December 2011, she was convicted of Dustin's crime. Yep. And finally, Micheal could take his 2 kids back to Australia. But his family is forever, like, ruined. To keep Micheal out of jail, you guys, his own father had to, like, second mortgage his home, and he couldn't afford his home anymore, so his dad was living in a hut in Thailand. I mean, what? Nothing wrong with Thailand. I really want to go to Thailand one day. But I'm just saying, like, you had to be, you know, this was a businessman, came from, like, you know, worked hard, had money, and these men, like, lives were absolutely destroyed in this woman's wake. Like, destroyed. Micheal believes that she was going to kill the kids, kill him, burn the house down, and take the insurance money. And the insurance money, I think, was up to $8 million. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. There is a lot of stuff on this woman. You can definitely check it out. But again, guys, thank you for even letting me tell this story to you. It means a lot. If you are struggling with domestic violence, doesn't matter what kind of person or who you are, no one has the right to touch you or lay a hand on you at all. Definitely check out this website and also this phone number. Please know that you are never alone and there is help out there, okay? You are loved and you are cherished. And remember, you are doing better than you think. Bye, guys. Stick around and check out my other videos. I don't know where I'm going to put the thing in editing, but oh, right here. Thank you very much, guys. Bye. Bowie, honey, I'm trying to record. Come here. Bowie. Hi. Hi. Didn't expect to have bloopers right now, but this is Bowie. Hi.
I'm the rap champion.
Dustin Weedy.